What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's charting session. Today is Sunday, March 9th, 2025. Today I'm going to be going over this week's price action. I ended up taking a lot of trades this week. I ended up losing the majority in AM session. So yeah, it was a pretty rough week. But we'll get into all these trades and how I was able to come out on top this week. So coming into Monday, I actually took one long that we alerted to the Discord. If we just go to the alerts tab, that was the long we took. But yeah, we'll go into the daily bias for Monday. Monday, March 3rd. Coming into the morning, Patty was bullish. Obviously, that got a little bit fucked. This was a good short. I was actually just not on the charts. I was literally like on a plane, so I missed this. But this was a really good short. We had a really nice, like this is really fucking textbook, not gonna lie. But did anyone take this short here? Because I was just looking back at this, I was like, wow, this was like absolutely perfect. I wonder. This 1 minute inverse. To the unfilled 4 hour, no? That was actually beautiful. Yeah. So then after that, what I was looking for was then a reversal, right? Because I did think at the time we were in this bullish order flow, right? We disrespected this 4 hour. We respected then this 4 hour. I want to see us get respected. So I thought we were in bullish order flow. Obviously, like the rest of the week, we weren't. But for this day, that worked out. We ended up getting this long here. I didn't like. I didn't take this long because we didn't sweep this low. Or we didn't sweep this low. I just didn't really like it. And then that ended up failing. So then we got more structure. Again, I was just simply waiting for structure to show itself. We were then inside of this 15-minute gap. We inverted this gap, okay? We inverted this gap. So where's the next draw on liquidity most likely going to be if we invert this gap? Probably this high right here, or just like the internal high right here, right? So after inverting this gap, I was then looked at this 5-minute structure. We had a 5-minute bullish for rally gap right here. I simply waited for price to then trade into it. If we're going to be bullish, we should respect it on the lower time frame and get 1 minute or 2 minute, 3 minute, whatever's in the trading leg that has that retracement get inverted, right? Get invalidated, right? You want to see bullish PD rays get respected, bearish PD rays get disrespected if we were in bullish order flow. That's simply what bullish order flow is. So we ended up having that retracement into that 5-minute. We got a 1 minute IFVG. That's the alert that I sent out. I said, long this hoe. I said, long this bitch. And then I closed once we had an SMT. We got an SMT, and then that was the trade. Does anyone have any questions about this trade? It's not really mech. I wouldn't say a mech is a 4 hour. It's a lot lower win rate. No, mech I only used 5 minute and 15 minutes, so. I just didn't like the 3 minute was way too premium. It was way too premium. It was not like a good entry at all, to be honest. I mean, there's times where I'll use highest time frame, and then there's times like this where it's just so obvious. It's like, especially with using time frame alignment, right? 5 minute for value gap, and we get a 1 minute IFVG out of it. Most likely, it's gonna run another draw. I was always also just super confident in the trade, like, just not necessary. Are you naked? I actually am. Yes. I actually am. Yeah, you probably should have closed then once we hit the SMT. The short, just a fucking discretionary short. Are you faded? No. Is Blake okay? Yeah. Hello? What would you do if an SME is created while you're in a trade that goes against your trade? I'll simply just take profit like I did right here. I mean, there's times where, okay, so for example, there was a trade on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember what it was, but it was like an SMT at like my break-even point. If it's an SMT at my break-even point, I most of the time won't close a trade because I want to see like the overall draw on liquidity get hit. Like for example here, my draw was just to this internal high really. and a little bit higher to the unfilled 15, but you know, this is still like a valid buy side level that I was looking at. So, right, so once that gets hit, then I'm going to be taking profits because we were also inside of a 30-minute for value gap, right? So I was not really expecting this if we had an SMT inside this higher time frame PD rate to continue if we, you know, since we had this SMT, right? So I'm going to be taking profits where I can. That's when I care about SMTs. But if, for example, if it's at like some internal high that I really don't care about, but it's like my break-even point, I probably won't. SMTs happen all the time. You just need to look at whether they're in a higher time frame PD rate or not, or where you can expect manipulation. You always have both ES and NQ right next to each other, right? Yeah, I mean, most of the time I do either that or I'll just like set alerts. Did you get a limit fill here? I think I did. Or I think I just added. I don't really remember. I think I just added when we got a lower fill. Can you explain more why was a 1 minute enough for you to go got short? I did not take a short. Oh, you're talking about the. Oh yeah, I didn't take this trade. I was just I didn't take this. I was just asking you guys if you took it because it looked really good. It's just a really clear like model: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But I just wasn't on the charts. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go into next week. Okay, let's go into next day. Excuse me. So that was Monday's trade. Let's go to Tuesday. Okay. All right, so Tuesday was a pretty interesting day. I took, I think, 3 trades Tuesday. I think I took 1 loss, 1 break even. Or I think I just took 2 trades. That was Wednesday, yeah. I took 2 trades Tuesday. So coming into Tuesday, we'll check out the daily buys for Tuesday. I think Tuesday I was probably bearish if I was smart. If I was stupid, I was bullish. I was bearish on higher, yeah. Okay, so I was bearish here because we had this really clear sell side, right? So what I was looking at was just that really obvious sell side. Now, this is what I was looking at, right? So either we take this low and we'll get like a mech back up to the highs, or we just get a short, which is what I wanted. You know, I wanted that short, but there was no opportunity here. I think the highest time from this leg was the 2 minute. Yeah, and the entry was just obviously diabolical. I mean, I'm not shorting right here. Could I have gone in on the limit order? Maybe, with a stop loss up here. I don't know, dude. This price action was just absolutely atrocious. I fortunately did not take any trades here. And I was just waiting for the external target to get hit because I just didn't like this PA. And I didn't like anything. I think there was like SMTs at these lows. So it's not good. We ended up getting this mech long right here. I thought this was pretty textbook. The only thing I didn't really like about it was just how far we displaced through this sell side and how we weren't really delivering off of much on the left. You could say this 4 hour though. So like really we were kind of delivering off of that 4 hour. But usually with mechs you want to see just like instant, and just any reversal trade in general, you just want to see that like instantaneous reaction. And you can just see the clear displacement we got through this low. Just made the trade a little bit less probability. But overall, just still a good mech. Like this is a trade that I would normally take. And I'm not mad about myself for taking this. Yeah. Maybe if there was more of an obvious like PD array we were delivering off of, but we were hitting that 4 hour. So this ended up getting stopped out. Does anyone have any questions for this? We also had equal highs like right here. So I thought this was like actually a pretty fucking good setup. Pretty freaking good setup. Did you say I took this live? So I signal trades when I'm not live, and then when I'm live, I'll signal trades. I just don't signal in PM though. I'll signal in AM. So you didn't care that way. Okay. That long looked like displacement also over that wick to the left. Yeah, exactly. We had a 1 minute change state delivery. We had like it was a fast candle. I really like this trade, and we had equal highs. This was a good setup, a good loss, in my opinion. Change in state of this dick like it when it bends. Yeah. think you need a lot of market experience to trade your strategy? That's a good question. I think the mech, not necessarily. But I really do think, like, yes, because there's a lot of times where I'll like see people like sending me trades that they took or something like through DMs, and like, is this a good long? And I'll just like think in my head like, I can't see what you're seeing. Like, I don't understand why you would take that, you know? And that's just like simply with market experience. It's not like something sometimes I can just tell you. But yeah, just overall screen time I think is super important. Do I think you can be profitable in like less than, I don't know about profitable, but like get a payout in like less than 3 months just trading like the models? Yeah, for sure, 100%. But overall, like getting a better win rate and like consistent payouts and stuff, consistent profitability, it definitely needs a lot of screen time, of course. Do you use time frame alignment? Not usually. You look hella tired. I mean, yeah, I skied from we just took a fucking helicopter up to some mountain, skied for like 5 hours, and now it's like 10:30, and I woke up at like 7. So yeah, I'm pretty drained. Question: if there's 2 for valley gaps, do we aim for the one that happened first or the one that happened on the higher time frame? Example: if there's a 15-minute and also a 5-minute, but the 5-minute happened first. Question: if there's 2 for valley gaps, do we aim for the one that happened first or the one that happened on the higher time frame? Example: if there's a 15-minute. If there's a 5-minute. I'm like trying to think. I don't really understand your question, but I'm not gonna lie. Maybe like show a picture or something and tag me in chat because I don't really understand. If we have bearish news, I don't care about like, I mean, okay, well, yeah, Trump's tariff, yeah. I mean, yeah, if Trump's speaking, then there's not much you can do about that. Yeah, I took a trade in PM session. I'll show that. How's the month of total profit? I think 40. Okay, I had a really good month in February. And that was all AM trades too. I took like almost every single trade I took in February was during AM session, was like in live. Pretty much every single trade. I think I had like 4 total losses. Would you take an A or B setup trade at AM open? What? What is this question? Would you take an A or B setup trade at AM open? Chat. Asking about time from alignment because if we're delivering out of a 4-hour, it is risky, I would say that, but like for mech sometimes you don't have a choice. So how do you go about adding cons? With what percent do you start, then you limit? I mean, if it just like goes lower sometimes, if I just got like a bad fill, I'll enter more. And like if I didn't put in enough risk, or if I'm already risking enough, I'll just kind of just calculate it, like, you know, the fill. What's that noise? Oh. You heli skied? No, we heli skied, yeah. So we went up to like the top of the mountain and then just skied all the way back to another mountain. We just got dropped off like a few hours away from Dolomites. And like skied all the way back. Or I snowboard, so. Need help with the mech model. The only thing that confused me is when we take the weekly low, there's no 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. If we get a 1-minute IFG along with the 5-minute or 15-minute, along with a 5-minute or 15-minute and the opposing, is it preferable to have the weekly low swept first and then a fair value gap tap? What if there's none? Yeah, so if there's just a sweep of liquidity and no PDRA, I think it's just lower probability in general. If there's a sweep of liquidity and you're inside of a PDRA, it's higher probability. So it's up to you. Just either lower risk or just don't. But you gotta be dyslexic. I'm not dyslexic. That question was just, I don't understand that question. If there's 2 for value, like, I'm sorry, I don't understand this. Maybe try to reword. Higher time frame, buddy. It's not quantum mechanics. I think they're talking about, oh, if we have 2 for rally gaps in the leg. Yeah, if we have 2 for rally gaps in the leg. Okay, if we have 2 for rally gaps in the leg. Yo. Yo, join the fucking stream and stop playing chart champs, you fucking loser. I'm answering questions for an hour here. I'm going to go to bed at 12 a.m. For example here, if we have 2 for rally gaps in the leg, right? We have this one and this one. I'll probably go like this, and I'll try to take either a mech to this. If that's not possible, then I'll scroll up to the highest time frame in the leg, and then the leg will just look like this. And then I'll just take the inverse of the highest time frame. Okay. Okay. So if mech's not possible, then I'll just try to use highest time frame, and then I'll probably lower size because the RR will be worse. Yeah. Okay. I don't care about macros now. I meant at the time 9:30, of course, not AM session in general. Oh, okay, yeah, 9:30. If there's an A or B setup, will I take it? Yeah, but I'll just go like super low risk. If it's like exactly at the 9th, usually no, bro. I took a 9:30 trade last week, and that was like my only loss of the week. That was just a. If I'll take a trade at the 9:30 candle, it'll be low risk. 1332. What would you say? I TP'd at the buy side liquidity instead of London highs. Yeah, I'll go into that. That's fine, bro. 1 to 1 RR, 1 to 2 RR is all you need. I personally, man, I think that's fine. It's really a lot of times just screen time. I took the same long, and I TP'd one at that buy side, and then I left the runner to London highs, and that's okay. If you had only one con and you want to TP full there, that's completely fine. 1 to 1 RR, don't give a fuck about what anyone says. I always see people like in my TikTok comment section be like, bro, took a 1 to 1 RR. It's like, bro, you have made $0 from trading, and you're talking about like, oh my god, he had a 1 to 1 RR. That's all you need, bro. 1 to 1, 1 to 2. Like, sure, there's people that out there like fucking Powell that trade fucking 1 to 20 RR. Cool. Like, yeah, if you trade like that, it's all personal preference at the end of the day. And yeah, anyways. It's not necessary, but yeah, it's a little bit higher probability. Can you go over the week and then answer a question at the end? Sometimes the questions are just about the trade, so I've been, holy fucking questions. I feel like I've been stuck in this break-even phase. Any advice finally becoming profitable? I would suggest just watching the recording stop. I posted a video on Psych that's really good. Do you trade micros when risking lower? It depends. I don't care about if it's micros or minis. I just risk 0.5% on the trade or less. Or just risk management. I don't like contracts. Doesn't mean anything. If the stop loss is there, the stop loss is there. If a setup presents itself like 157, sometimes, yeah. If it really depends on like the PA, if it's choppy or not. It really depends though. I'd need to like see the chart, to be honest, because sometimes like the manipulation can happen, and then like 10 will distribute, or like overall news is also like if 9:30 manipulates and 10 a.m. should distribute. You know, so it's not always that 10 o'clock will have an open low high close if we're bullish, and an open high low close if we're bearish. Yeah. Main difference, Mac is just targeting an unfilled 5-minute or 15-minute. Discretionary is not targeting any drawn liquidity. When I'm on Hinge, okay. Okay, let's go into the next day. Oh no, sorry, I took a trade in PM. Okay, so PM session, I think I probably just sent out like a drawn liquidity. Yeah, there we go. I was just saying that I was really bullish for PM, and I was looking to see London highs. So that was just the. And then this guy said I'm in a short right now, so that was fucked. But anyways, yeah, I was just super bullish. So what I was looking to see was London highs. Now, oh fuck, I totally forgot I took this trade too. I totally forgot about this. I took a short here. We had an SMT at this high, and then since we should be bearish here, right? SMT inside the higher time for Pbtrading. This is the fair value gap that swept liquidity, so it's a very important fair value gap. And then I took this short. I had a stop loss around there, and then TP, and then I was break even there. So it was just a break even trade. TP was lower, but just like absolutely diabolical price action, man. Like, what are these moves? Like, this week was really tough. I'm not gonna lie, super tough week. But PM was super clean. Like, I never traded PM this much, but the movement was just way cleaner and way better, which is why I like PM so much. We were just very bullish, right? So clearly disrespecting bearish, respecting bullish. We had London highs as a very clear draw on liquidity. Reasoning for that was just simply daily profiles, right? So I want to see a reversal back up there because there was no Pbtrading that sponsored that move. I mean, there was that 4 hour, but I feel like this just already, like with daily profiles, when we take like a low like this and we just take the most obvious draw on liquidity, either we can complete the day and then just be chopping around this area a lot. But if I start seeing displacement back towards like that London high, then obviously we're going to most likely go to hit that, right? And I'll see that as a Judas. So it's like sometimes I'm not predicting the daily profile. I'm more just reacting to what PA is giving me and then, you know, giving that prediction. Anyways, we had one setup here. I think we had a 5-minute, which gave me no entry. What I really liked, though, was this overall 5-minute, right? So we had a 5-minute fair value gap right here. We had this CISD here, right? This order block. So an order block and also this fair value gap, right? If we're going to be bullish, what should we do, guys? If we're going to be bullish, what should we do? Do I even have to say this? Respected. Not all the time, no. Right, so if we're going to be bullish, we should respect this 5-minute fair value gap, get that displacement higher, and that's exactly what happened, right? So we ended up trading back to this order block. We got then looking at this trading leg, and I got this question, which was, what do you do when there's 2 fair value gaps in this leg, okay? So obviously there's multiple fair value gaps in this leg. What I'm looking at is if I can get a mech here, right? So I'm looking at this high. This is probably a fair value gap high, right? This is a 3-minute, I think. Yeah, it was a 3-minute. And then looking at this leg, I'm looking at the highest time frame. Okay, there's a 2-minute. So I'm going to take this 2-minute to the unfilled 3-minute, probably break even there. I can't remember if I broke even there. I'm pretty sure I did. And then TP at the buy side, and then final TP is going to London highs. So yeah, and then I got full TP here, and yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people caught that just from me literally sending out the bias. I saw a lot of people catch that. But yeah, just super obvious. And yeah, that fucking ate back that loss. The fucking 147-point banger. So that was fire. That was a great trade. And that was a textbook setup, something that would take 9 times out of 10 when we were just in a very clear buy model, right? Like there's no denying that this is a buy model. Like I don't think anyone in this scenario is saying that we are in a sell model when we're looking at the chart like this on the 5-minute. Look at that. Just textbook, very textbook. So I'm sure you see out of a drawing. All right. Yeah. Question time. Bro, any adversity you faced when trading just started to work out and you either had to go to school or get a full-time job? How do you get out of this problem moment? Yeah, so I mean, I did do that. I did get a job. I got a job. And I hate to break it to you, you gotta fucking get a job, bro. If you're making no money trading and you're unprofitable yet, I mean, you gotta face reality of the world, and that's getting a job. So yeah, like real shit. And I did go to school for a bit. But yeah, you gotta get a job. I got a job, and it fucking sucked. And there's nothing you do about it. You just gotta keep working, and until you start seeing progress with your trading, you know, then you can get out of that. But there's nothing you can get out. Like you can't get out of this problem moment. You can't get out of it. You take the 2-minute and the other one. Yeah, there was equal lows though. It was 1 tick apart, so I didn't care. How do you rate setups like that? What's the difference between if you just go to, like, we have a checklist in the WAP or somewhere, the checklist. If you mark everything out, if it's all checked off, then it's an A+ setup. If it's not, then it's probably B rated. But it's also comes down to a lot of screen time. Like a lot of the times, like a setup that you guys, and this is not to say, like I don't want to sound like cocky here. This is just literally screen time. I've been trading for like since I was 16 years old. So sometimes I'll just see stuff that like reactions that happen like during during, like, for example, we have like a instantaneous reaction off this order block, perfectly tap C of the order block, like, you know, simple stuff like that. Make a 1 minute OB here, like, make it A plus. But yeah, sometimes you can't really do much about them. What did your parents say when you dropped out? I mean, my parents have always been super supportive of me, and I mean, I'll just say this, bro. If you're fucking making no money from trading, you can't blame your parents for, honestly, this is why I say, like, don't tell anybody you trade, because it's honestly just dumb. Like, even, I mean, the statistic is 99% of people don't make it in trading. It's probably lower now, but it's for a reason. And, like, I mean, that statistic is just proves, like, it's really unsafe fucking for a lot of people, bro. A lot of people don't make it. So don't be mad at your parents. They just want the best for you. But yeah, I mean, my parents were fine with it once I showed them my bank account, you know? Once I showed them I actually started making money from trading. That's when they stopped giving a fuck. You can't just drop out and ask for them and pray for them to be happy about it if you're making no money trading. What if I get a 5-minute SIBI inversion? When it reversed, it also formed a 5-minute SIBI below. Should I wait for top back before considering entry? I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's up to you. If you're fine with the risk, then, and the RR isn't too bad, then sure. If you want to wait for a retrace, again, like, retrace is not necessary in an example like this because inversions don't need to be traded back to. But that is an imbalance, so up to you, man. Up to you. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. If the RR is good enough, then I'll take it. If it's not, then I won't. How do you know when to wait for structure to form and liquidity to be swept when looking for a trade? For example, I think it was Tuesday when you were looking for reversals. Yeah, so it's usually when we hit like a higher time frame key level, or we're super bearish or something, and I'm looking for bullish structure to form. Structure is literally just simply waiting for, you know, something like this. For example, when we sweep a high, right? I'm not just going to immediately short, like, at the high. I'm sorry, I'm not, you know, the top ticker on TikTok. I'm going to wait for a structure to form, right? So I'll wait for something like this, wait for, you know, maybe a 3 drive, like actual market structure shift, bearish structure to form. For example, here, I'm not longing here. I don't know what the entry model is here, but I'm not longing here. I'm going to wait for structure to form, wait for that to validate, and then I'll take my long. And then I'll take my piece of the pie. That's all I need. I don't need to catch this whole entire move to make money. And don't think that you need to. All you need is 1 to 2, 1 to 3 RR. Like, that's it. I mean, we were delivering off a 4-hour, and this was a 5-minute for Valley Gap. I have a CPI, I don't know. In the PM trade, the 3-minute respected. If the 3-minute was tapped in and respected, we still have taken the 2-minute. Probably not. As in equal lows that are beside each other, if they're like right next to each other, I don't care. But like, yeah, after taking London highs, that can be a draw on liquidity. Like, for example, like in buy models, guys, and in sell models, we are generating liquidity. Does that mean that we can't short against this? No, that doesn't mean that, right? We can still short against generated liquidity, right? Until what? Until the higher time frame key levels hit. Then we can't short, and then we can long towards that, right? And example perfectly right here, right? We're generating liquidity here, generating liquidity here, generating liquidity here, right? These lows are protected until we hit the higher time frame key level, until we hit the draw on liquidity, right? And then you can expect a sell model, and then those lows aren't protected. If you want to say you're right, then prove it with the results. Exactly. If not, you're just self-masturbation from fucking saying that you're doing something and you're actually not. No, I trade PM when the price action in AM session looks like this shit, bro. What? No, it's not real. I don't believe this statistic. Half of the people stop after a month. Like, half of the people probably, yeah, literally stop after a month. Half of the people aren't mentored by the right people. Half of the people aren't even fucking, yeah, like watching the right videos, trading the right model. Nah, I think it's going to be way higher soon. Or sorry, way lower soon. Sell side imbalance, just a bearish rally gap. I mean, I have the tunnel vision how it's possible to really get that ounce of doubt, and it scares me. I just remind myself I can't. I mean, of course, bro. Trading is a scary route. It's a really scary route. That's why it's so rewarding. That's why you can just fucking make money wherever you want in the world. And that's why this job is so amazing. It's scary. Yeah. Of course. Because 10 a.m. is a 4-hour candle. So usually 10 a.m. will have either an open high-low close or an open low-high close, just power of 3. And then usually when 10 a.m. is bad, 11 o'clock will have the reversal, or, you know, if 10 a.m. generates liquidity, 11 a.m. will take it out. So it's usually the times we'll trade 11. Should I wait for a liquidity sweep at the lower or the 1 minute or the higher time frame? Price is fractal, so it really depends. Should be looking at higher time frame liquidity sweeps though, for sure, if you're trading on the lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, the statistic also is like, bro, fucking 99% of people that start businesses fail. Like, does that mean you can't trade? No. It's just, yeah, it's for everything in life. It's for every single thing that's risky in life. Every single entrepreneurial thing that you're doing is risky. And that's why it is so fucking rewarding. And sure, if you want to be stuck in the fucking rat race and be stuck, you know, working your 9 to 5, then yeah, don't take that risk. If you want to take that risk, then take that risk. Very simple. How do you filter out noise confluence wise? Yeah, so in terms of like that, what I always tell people is focus on the draw on liquidity and the PD rays that are going to take you to that draw on liquidity, versus focusing on all the PD rays. Because there's every single time, guys, I hate to break it to you, with IC concepts, yeah, it gets fucking confusing. There's a fucking propulsion block, rejection block, fucking plumbus block, every block that you can think of, every single IC concept. Any single thing, like, there's 20,000 different things that people can say is happening on this chart, right? But my chart looks really simple, right? Very simple. And I mean, I'll just say this. I only look at the PD rays that are going to deliver me to that drawn liquidity, right? I don't care about this little 1 minute for rally gap right here, right? Like this 3 minute. I don't care about this, right? I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Like these highs, right? I'm just looking at the overall drawn liquidity. I'm looking at the PD rays that are going to take me there. Why do you think? Yeah, I answered that. I don't trade gold. I don't like to. I mean, I make money with NQ. There's no reason. I said my first payout on Friday. Thanks, Blake, for all the knowledge. I started ICT about 6 months ago, and Mech Model sealed the deal with my profitability. Fuck yeah, man. Hey, much love, bro. I got a real last question. Have you ever thought about what you're doing in the future? Yeah, I mean, I have some objectives for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're working on some things right now. Can't really say too much, but yeah, I really can't say too much. Have a good day. Okay, for sure, bro. Do you have to back to specifically PM to trade PM? Yes, I would say so, because PM does move a little bit different, in my opinion. Yeah, like it moves slower. It's going to be a lot more mentally. I would say just like paper trade PM, bro, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, yeah, the moves just happen like slower. Sometimes like moves like this shit happen really fast. It's like a 10-minute trade, but like AM will usually just deliver to your draw quicker. But yeah, and bro, it's just like so funny to me because he keeps bringing up the statistic of 99% as if people that start businesses also have like a 99% fail rate. Like I just don't even. It's just so frustrating to see people talk about shit that they've personally never done or even like really looked into, because I guarantee you he hasn't. Anyways. Okay. Okay. It's only Tuesday? We've only done 2 days? Holy shit. Okay. What was I gonna do Wednesday? Okay, so what's that? That was one trade. I think I was 2-1 on this week. 2-1 so far in the week. Yes, that made me 2-1. So yeah, it's going to Wednesday. Come on. Okay. So Wednesday was pretty fucking rough. Wednesday was this right here. Okay, so coming into Wednesday, I was bearish, right? Just obvious bearish, right? We had an unfilled 1 hour, and we also had previous day low. So I was looking at two things, right? Either we trade into that 1 hour, and then I'll take a short to that low. Or sorry, we don't trade into the 1 hour, take a short to the 1 hour. Or we trade into the 1 hour. If we disrespect it, then I'll look for previous day low, right? So I wanted to see a 9:30 Judas, or I think we had 10 a.m. news. I think I was waiting for that. This was like really fucking textbook, honestly. Like the trades guys, I'm not gonna lie, the trades I took in AM were not like I'm not mad at the majority of the trades I took in AM. Like they were all great setups. For example, here we had relative equal lows at this 1 hour for rally gap. Overall bearish market structure, bearish as fuck. We then traded into this 5-minute. We swept out these highs. This is also a 15-minute order block right here, right? Hey, textbook setup. We then had a 5-minute IFEG. And I'll just say this. I mean, like, of course here I could have waited for a retracement. And I mean, honestly, I probably could have. I could have waited for a retracement into this. But I was just really, really fucking confident in this draw. And I didn't expect us to retrace like 100 points. I'm sorry, but this retrace is actually diabolical. To then hit the draw. And, I mean, just look at this price action, man. Look, what are we doing? Why are we just in this range? It was just a super frustrating week because we just had obvious draws and then we would just hit it at like 11 o'clock. Like, okay, bro. Cool. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, this is just a setup I would take 10 out of 10 times, though, for sure. What I did right, I mean, I probably could have if I limit ordered, I could have had a better fill. And I think I should have probably thought about that more. I was just honestly super confident in this trade, and I didn't expect us to have this big of a retrace, especially if, I mean, even when we did have this retrace, we inverted this gap, and then we went back down. Just weird PA. When you see shit like this, when we have an inversion and then another inversion of the inversion, it's just like, it fucking hurts my brain to even look at. Yeah. Any questions about this trade? I do not. If you just go to my name, I just say I do not DM first. Yeah. 10:46 2-minute IFEG. Where would you place your stop loss? 10:46 2-minute. Okay, yeah, probably the re-entry was good, no? My stop loss on this short. The order block, the 1 minute order block. If we close below this, then you can just move your stop. If it's not, I don't think we close below it there, but once we close below it there, I mean, that's kind of a break-even trade either way. I mean, like the high, I guess, or you can do the down close candle or the up close candle. Oh, you took a short and then you got stopped out. When did we invert this though? How did you get stopped out? We inverted it here. And then it just went straight down. Oh, you didn't break even. Oh, okay. You just didn't break even. Yeah, I mean, this should have just been a break-even trade. Well, no, we didn't even hit that wick. That's weird. Super weird TPA, honestly, bro. My mom, I guess. At lunch, yeah, sure. 2 minute long. $11.37. Why would you long this? I'm just fucking with you, but actually though, why'd you long this? When we didn't hit the 1 hour. It's not mech though, we're not delivering off anything. I mean, I mean, just taking breaks in general, just when you're feeling burnt out, I think is good. I mean, yeah, you just should have taken it. We didn't hit the 1 hour. Okay, I'm gonna go into, I think I took a PM trade here. It was a pretty tough setup. I took with very low size. I took with micros. So I ended up just being break even on this day. Because I wasn't insanely confident with this. So what we had here was this SMT. So we had an SMT at this low. We had SMTs like at all these lows, right? SMT here and an SMT here. So I didn't need to necessarily see like the protected lows here get hit that we had these SMTs. Obviously, this trading leg is cooked. So I was waiting for macro. We have macro open up, right? Very obvious. And we had this 4 minute. This is a trade that I normally wouldn't take, but we just had very obvious displacement, and we had a bunch of down close candles here to support price. And also, just same exact scenario as the last PM where we had a super fucking obvious draw on liquidity, and we're just in a really obvious buy model that's just, you know, just obvious, right? So this is a trade I took. It was a 4 minute. And it was just, I just took it to this high. That's it. And yeah, that was the setup. It was very simple. We just traded into a 15-minute gap. We respected this 15-minute. There was like an SMT here, so I didn't need to see the low get swept again, right? When we have lows, guys, when are these lows protected in fair value gaps, and when are they not protected? When do we need to sweep this low, and when do we not need to sweep this low? Can anyone tell me? This Coke Zero isn't doing me shit, bro. I'm fucking tired as hell. No. Like, when does this low need to be taken, and when can this low stay as a protected low? Not when there's an SMT, no. When it hits a key low, exactly. When the buy model is complete. Is this buy model complete, guys? No, right? No, we still have this buy side here, right? We still have the external liquidity right here resting. So this low necessarily doesn't need to be taken. Now, are there times where the low is taken? Yeah, of course. Like, there's times where we have like a little sweep of the low, right? But at this point in time, I'm not looking for that, right? This low is protected until the buy model is complete. So I'm not looking for that, right? And it's okay. We can generate liquidity here, right? Because then what? Then we get a sell model back down, right? It's sometimes okay to take shorts with generated liquidity below, as long as we have like obvious displacement through like bearish P to raise, for example, here. And we have an obvious draw on liquidity. Now, I did take this with lower size because, to be completely honest, I was a little sketched out by this. But in hindsight, there was an SMT there, and right, that this low should be protected until that high sit. So that's why I did take the trade. But of course, you know, sometimes you see this and it's a little tough to be taking trades against it, which is why I just went lower size. But yeah, this ended up just being a break-even trade, break-even day. Is this Friday? No, this was Wednesday PM. We trade the MEC model based on higher time frame liquidity sweeps or rejection of higher time frame liquidity to internal range liquidity. When there's a strong drawn liquidity, such as previously higher to the low. I see you guys taking 15-minute, 5-minute. Yes, exactly. Targets would just be either like the internal liquidity pool and then leave runners to the external. Yeah, exactly. How'd you go from one payout or a couple of payouts to consistently profitable? Yeah, it's a great question. Really what it all came down to was just me. I mean, I always tell this to a lot of people, but at the end of the day, I always think about what I know, like what I know happened to get to that payout, that first payout, right? I know exactly what I did to get that first payout. I was journaling, I was backtesting, I was, constantly recapping my trades, and that, when I wasn't in a Discord, now I can, recap to you guys, and that's kind of my form of journaling, right? But that's what I was doing pretty much every single day, like without failure, not breaking my rules, right? Taking 2 to 3 trades a day max, like not like following my loss limit, just all the things that I tell you guys. And I think that it's just kind of funny because I feel like a lot of people like know what they have to do, because I constantly am telling you guys over and over again exactly what you have to do, and you know what you have to do. I don't even have to tell you. You've heard it a million fucking times. And it's as simple as that. Like, after my first payout, I thought I was hot shit, and I got humbled so fucking quickly that I didn't see a payout again for like another 2 months after that. After my first payout, I was with that Forex firm. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it just comes down to, what you did to get to that first payout. You know what you did. Same sizing, discipline, and risk management. Rule number 1, never lose money. Exactly. Exactly. And I also say this so many times, bro. Like, it's so fucking easy to make money in trading. Like, anyone can make money trading. You can click the buy or sell button at any time. You can get lucky with a trade. The most important thing is how you're able to actually keep the money that you make. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I'll take one loss, and I'll see everyone saying, "Oh my God, I blew my account." Well, that is your fault. That is the reason you will never get a payout. That is the reason you will never become profitable. Risk management is so fucking important in general. Like, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, anyone can make money. Anyone can make money. All it comes down to is being able to keep the money that you make, and that is how you become profitable. Okay, let's go into Thursday. Okay, got 2 more days to cover. I'm getting leapy. I'm so fucking tired, Loki. I'm powering through though. Okay, Thursday. Where the fuck am I? Okay. The Thursday was also bearish. I'm pretty sure I said. Yep. We just had previous day low here. Man, this trade pissed me off so much. Dude, these are all great setups, man. Like, I'm so annoyed. Okay, so coming in 9:30, right? We had this previous day low right here. Just like a really obvious strong liquidity. And then I wanted to see a retracement into this 5-minute for rally gap to then get a short off, right? Pretty simple. Trade into the 5-minute. Got an immediate reaction off that. We also had a 1-minute order block in place. And this ended up failing. Super surprising. I thought this was a great setup. I did not take the re-entry here. I didn't like it. I just didn't like the price action after this failed. But yeah, then we had, I waited for 10 a.m. We retraced. So we left relative equal lows here. Then we retraced around 155 points in AM session too. This is an AM session, by the way, guys. For then price to dump to previous day low. Now, I didn't take this. I ended the day red on Thursday. This was my first red day this week. I didn't take any PM trades, and I didn't even take this trade. I liked it. So this was the mech short that Patty took. I think he took 2 trades here on this day. This was great. PA. I think I was just a little bit distracted or something. Who's on stream that day? It was like T or something. I don't know. But I was waiting for really 11 o'clock here. I want to see. This is something I see very often with mech setups like this, where we'll usually just generate liquidity and then have 11 o'clock do the work. So that's kind of what I was expecting. I was also already down in the day, so I didn't really want to keep doing this. And this was also my payout day request. So so that was just like not good timing. Anyways, that's ended up working. Patty took this one, and then we had a retracement. This was also a fucking great setup. We had a SMT at this high, if I remember. If you took any of these trades, these are great. These are both really good setups. I would say probably honestly similar rated to this. I honestly was just more focused on, to be honest, like the payout and like the money that I was risking for this. If this would have potentially lost, that would have been a big hit. Even though these were good setups, just overall risk management in general. 2 minute, I think, was here, and then this ended up fucking working. These are like all great setups. So don't ask me why we decided to retrace 200 points or fucking 300 points to then hit previous day low at 12 p.m. and not in AM session. Who knows, bro? But that's just the weird shit that's been happening. But yeah, end of the day, red here. This is just a red day. I don't really have much else, but these two steps were great. This was a great mech, and this was a great continuation. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I had the same shit with I had a fucking sticky note on my computer. After this psych video, I've been journaling every single trade. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Good shit, bro. Keep it up, dog. I heard Justin Werland mentioning reading market condition at the start of the weekday before trading. I also heard Patty mentioning selling lows. Yeah, I mean, that's like a really, like, it's a lot of things I talk about, and not even to like plug the inner circle or whatever, but that's just a whole entire call I have, is just recognizing market conditions. But very simply, I mean, it's just sometimes news, overall how we're reacting off of like PD rays, if we're respecting them and then delivering, if we're not delivering, if we're inverting and not actually delivering, and we're just re-inverting gaps. Just overall like choppy price action, I feel like anyone can recognize. But yeah. Why wasn't the other format for IAP, which was holding, a problem? Okay, so let's look at this. Did he not take the format? Oh, you're saying this? Okay, yeah. This is a very, very common question we get a lot. Is like overall just with legs, right? Just trading legs, okay? So trading legs are just swings, okay? Or this is a trading leg. This high. This is also a trading leg. So it's okay to take this short here, even though this hasn't been inverted, right? Because if we are inverting this, most likely we will go to the intermediate low that is inside of this rally gap. And you can anticipate that this one's going to get inverted, because these are two different trading legs, right? If you're waiting for this also to be inverted, you're not going to get a trade here. And your target is the unfilled 15 minutes. So you're waiting for this to get inverted, you might as well just start trading negative RR and like, I don't know, start trading like Danny trades. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, you have to be looking at the trading leg that we're currently in. That's why it didn't matter. I took this same short as Patty, but I got break even. Why would you do that? I mean, in this scenario, the 15 minute was just the most obvious. And when we have a 15 minute and a 5 minute, you shouldn't TP at the 5 minute, you should TP at the 15 minute. At least a 1-to-1. Anyway, I know I'm literally answering. I'm trying to answer all your questions. Okay. Let's go to the last day. So I did end this day red. Thursday. I did not take any trades after that. I just didn't really like PM. Just all targets were hit. at like 12. Honestly, at 12, I just logged off. And then Friday, I just took a mech. Okay, so we'll go to Friday. Okay, so Friday was really clean. Honestly, this, like, looking back at this trade, I 100% should have taken it. So what we had here was just still bearish. Bearish, right? Previous day low, super obvious. Okay. We ended up having this short here. Yeah, I'm honestly so pissed I didn't take this. This was a great short. I mean, I still got still had a winning day, but this is a great setup. This is a great setup. If you took this, good shit. This is great, right? We had a this right here, which was a bearish BPR, and we were bouncing off that. And then we are also, so what was I saying here, guys, with data highs? Why was I saying that I didn't necessarily need to see data highs at this point get hit? Because there's two things I'm looking at with data highs and data lows for whether or not I need to see it get hit or not. It's not really like one thing. It's, I don't know. Did I say two things or one thing? If it's sponsored, exactly, right? So if the data high or low actually has if it's in a manipulation, then you can expect that 932 actually distribute, right? Not every time I see a data high, I'm going to be longing towards it, right? That's just simply pattern trading, and you don't want to trade like that, right? Until, obviously, and again, this is what I'm talking about with buy model and sell model, until we complete the sell model, then this high is no longer protected, and then we can trade back up to it, right? Make sense? Makes sense? Cool, right? So at this point in time, I wasn't really looking for this data high to get hit because it was inside of a higher time for PDR, because the move was sponsored, because this was already the manipulation, right? And we still had this previous sale as a draw on liquidity. Yeah, looking back at this trade, I 100% should have taken it, and I'll tell you guys when, you know, I should be taking trades that. And yeah, I'm just trying to be as raw and real with you guys. I don't know. I just had pretty low conviction after this week, just getting my ass eaten in an AM session. Even though that this setup was super, super textbook, honestly, this was just a psychology issue that I had. And yeah, just overall like fear, which I shouldn't have had. I think I just kind of fucked myself by not taking this. But after this, if you took this, also good job. Like, great on you. And you had your own conviction, and you don't need me to be taking a trade, or you don't need Patty actually took this, so never mind. But if you took this with your own conviction, nice, okay? And then right after that, it was just very simple, mech. Really simple. I literally just took it for a 1-to-1, and I was like done for the day. This ended up running for obviously way more because Trump spoke and had a fucking 200-point move here. But yeah, I just took this for a 1-to-1, so sorry, did not get all that. But just got a 1-to-1 on this, and that was my week. So I ended up with one, I don't know. But yeah, it's a pretty good week. Just I ended up having one red day of the week, and it was Thursday. And then the majority of my losses were just an AM session. It was just pretty bad, and then great PM session. Holy fuck, bro. Why wouldn't you consider this data high taken because the 1 minute swept it? It didn't. This is the data high. Oh, you're saying the 830 candle? Yeah, I mean, sometimes like the data high is just like on the 5 minute, you know? Like if you look at the 5 minute chart or the 2 minute chart. Yeah, I didn't necessarily consider it taken though. But I consider it sponsored, and that might be another reason. Maybe we did take it. But like a 5 minute data high is still pretty high probability. Nice, man. Nice, man. Yeah, I did take that. How come you didn't take the 10-10 inversion? 10-10 inversion. The long? Okay, so like during Friday, I was really looking for two things. I was either looking for this low to get taken to take a long, like you guys were hearing me the whole entire day. I literally wrote on my screen also like waiting for external liquidity to be taken, highs or lows to take a long or short. Now, then when this short setup was presenting itself, I was saying it was good because the data high was sponsored and we don't really need for that to get taken. And the short was better. I was more bearish. And yeah, in this scenario, just longs are not good. We're not delivering off of anything. Just look at this. We haven't delivered off of anything. It doesn't make sense. When you're thinking about trading, guys, like you're thinking about as a story, I guess. You know, does this make sense? It doesn't make sense, right? You can't really form a narrative from this. We're not delivering from anything. If you can't form a narrative with your trading, if you can't tell a story with it, like it sounds stupid, but it's true, then it's not a good setup. So yeah, just because we were expecting a 5 minute and then had 1 minute structure, that doesn't make the setup valid, right? We weren't delivering off anything from the lows. So in this scenario, what it's best to do is just it's just patience, right? Like the whole time I was just patient. Right? I didn't see really exactly what I want to see. Actually, this was a great setup. This is exactly what I want to see, but anyways, yeah. What was your mech based off bouncing off a higher time frame? I mean, we were just honestly like in the shitter. But yeah, we swept previous day low. What do you mean by sponsored? If like for example here, this move isn't sponsored by anything, right? Like it doesn't make sense. Like when I say sponsored, if it just means if it bounced off a higher time frame period, right? For example here, like this is sponsored, right? This for rally gap. So this bullish move here is sponsored. If we do something like this though, and then we have like a move like this, and there's like no for rally gap here. There's no like, I mean, I really only use it for like for rally gaps, like breakers or something. If there's nothing here, then this move is not sponsored. And then we should go back down to this low, because this is just generating liquidity, right? So this is usually just a fake out, just a Judas for it to go back lower. And for example here, this move here that happened is not sponsored by anything. But this high is sponsored by this PV right to the left of me, and we swept out all this liquidity. So it makes sense for price not to trade back to this high, but for price to trade back to this low, because this is not sponsored, this is sponsored. Not sponsored because we're not delivering off anything. Sponsored because we're delivering off something. Does that make sense? It's 11. Exactly. I meant the short on the 5 minute. Oh shit. Oh, like the initial short? Because we weren't delivering off anything. There's no, like, we weren't delivering off of a 5 minute for rally gap or higher. So I didn't like it. And there was also no I would have taken it if there was an SMT at this high. I'll say that. If there was an SMT at that high, I would have liked this a lot more, but there's no SMT. So I was waiting for once the 5 minute formed, then I said, I'll wait for this to get traded to 1 minute structure, then I'll take the short. Then I just pulled a hezzy and I didn't take it. But yeah, pretty much every every slope. Angus Sniffer's crazy. It was sweep of Prius de low. Seven in 1 hour. Yeah, I mean we were just in the shitter. Like I needed to go on a different NASDAQ contract to see what we were delivering off. But yeah, it was just previously low. It was very similar to the long I took on, like literally the exact same long that I took right here. We swept previous day low and it was a mech long and I took an L on it. Right here. It's like the same exact setup. All right. I'm gonna get off here, guys. Yeah. I know that was a while, but I just want to answer everyone's questions. Didn't want anyone to go unanswered. So, sorry if that took long. I was trying to go through that fast. I'll try to find a more efficient way to do it. Usually, I'll have someone like answering questions, or usually I'll try to like do the whole week and then answer questions. Maybe that'll be better. But sometimes people have questions about the day that I need to go over, so I'll think about it, try to find a better way to do it. But anyways, see you guys tomorrow. We have Monday. So, I'll just do a quick little outlook on the week. I think I'm just obviously going to continue being bearish here. There's no real reason to be bullish, right? Until we start seeing actual structure to validate some sort of bullish bias. So yeah, just continuing to be bearish until proven wrong is how I'm going to play this week. And yeah, I think, daylight savings time, so I'm going to have to change up that. And tomorrow, 12 p.m. Tomorrow is Inner Circle 2.0. Yeah, so we are finally, after a long time, we've just been having a lot of like minor things that I've just been wanting to change, just overall the schedule, overall like the Discord, just the channels, like just very little things I've just been taking a while. Also, we've just been traveling a lot, so haven't been having too much time. But yeah, Inner Circle 2.0 tomorrow. Hell yeah, hype for that. And yeah, we'll release like all the info and applications and everything tomorrow. So I'm not too sure. Probably when I get back to Madrid, because I don't have anything right here. But yeah, I'm in Dolomites, Italy right now. All right, I'm gonna end it here, boys.